Salut, bienvenue. Welcome to another lesson, another French lesson with Anna. Today we're going to talk about le futur proche et le passé récent. So, le futur proche is the near future, which in English can be translated by the format going to. I'm going to study, for example. And le passé récent, which is the recent past, it's when we in English we express the idea of just finished doing something. This is not the simple past tense, it's not the simple future tense. Those are two different videos that we also have on this channel that you can check later on. But for now, let's just focus on these two, which are quite simple in French. So let's start with le futur proche, okay, the near future. How do we form the futur proche? So just like we do in English, where we say, I am going to do something, well, in French, you do the same thing. You grab the verb to go in the present tense, which is, as you can see over here, the verb aller. And then the main idea, the main verb stays in the infinitive, just like we say in English, okay? So the main idea, the main verb stays untouched. In French, remember, it ends in ER, RE, or IR. So what does that really mean? It means that the verb aller, which is the one that expresses I am going to do something, is conjugated in the present tense. And if you missed the video on the present tense, you can go check it out. Aller is part of the irregular list of verbs in French. It just simply means that even though it ends in ER, as you can see, it doesn't follow the rule for ER verbs. It exists on its own, okay? And you kind of have to memorize it. But if you remember it, it changes into, for those of you who didn't have a chance to look at that video or don't know this verb yet, we have it here for you. So, je vais means I go or I'm going. Je vais, tu vas, il va, so he goes or he's going to. Elle va, on va. Remember that the on is a format for which means nous. It's very informal in French, but it's conjugated as the third person singular, okay? Nous allons, we go or we're going. Vous allez, that's the plural form or the formal way of treating someone. And ils vont, elles vont. So that takes care of the present tense of the verb aller and also the first part to form le futur proche. Then let's look at some examples. Okay, so if you were to use it in a simple conversation, simple sentence, this is how we do it. So we have in red the verb aller, we're following the formula, and in blue we have the infinitive. So that can be any verb. Again, in English, that verb is expressed with the preposition to, followed by the word, right? To study, to go, to be, to do, whatever the case may be. Then, look at the first one, je vais manger. That means I am going to eat. Tu vas étudier. So tu vas, you are going, étudier, to study. Now, this S, if you just pronounce the verb aller by itself, is tu vas, it's a silent one. But because this verb here in particular begins with a vowel, we need to do what the French call the liaison, that Z sound to it, right? So tu vas étudier. Il va regarder la télé. He is going to watch TV. Elle va regarder la télé. She is going to watch TV. Or on va regarder la télé. Or we are going to do that. The more formal way or common way, if you want, of saying we is nous. So you have nous. You have the verb aller, which is conjugated, allons, and then voyager. Voyager means to go on a trip, to travel. Okay? So nous allons. But here the same thing happens. This S is followed by a vowel. We have to do that Z sound, that liaison. So nous allons, and this S is silent, voyager. Nous allons voyager. We're going to travel. Vous, same idea. We have vous, we have aller, sortir. Sortir means to go out. So vous allez, we do that little liaison. Vous allez sortir avec moi. You are going to go out with me. And then you have ils vont faire du shopping. Okay, so they are going shopping. They are going to do some shopping, to buy some stuff. That's the idea, okay? So ils vont faire du shopping. Elles vont faire du shopping. And this is how we form le futur proche. It is that easy. Always use the verbal in the present tense, immediately followed by the main verb. Don't touch it, it's in the infinitive. This comes in handy if you don't know the simple future tense yet. You can always express the future with this idea. Even though it is the near future going to, it still expresses that idea of futur, okay? Next one up is le passé récent, so the recent past. In English, we just put that just finished doing something, right? So I just finished explaining le futur proche to you. Well, in French, this expression, just finished doing something, also has a formula. And that formula is the present tense of the verb venir, which by itself means to come, okay? But in this case, it's part of this formula. It's venir, conjugated in the present tense, followed by the preposition de. So unlike the futur proche, which has no preposition between the verb aller and the main verb, this one has the preposition de, followed by, just like futur proche, followed by the infinitive of the main verb. Okay, so venir plus de plus infinitive. Venir, just like aller, is an irregular verb in the present tense. That means that yes, it ends in IR, but it doesn't follow the rule for IR verbs, which is usually IS, IS, IT, ISSONS, ISSEZ, and ISSENT. This guy doesn't follow that rule. So you also have to memorize it. If you don't know it, here it is. It's je viens, tu viens, and notice they are spelled exactly the same. Il, elle, on vient. And the difference here is that the S changes into T. Very common in French irregular verbs and even for the IR verbs that are regular. Nous venons, vous venez, and then il or elle plural viennent. And notice that for viennent we double the N. And the reason why we do that is because the E is open. Viennent. Okay, venons, venez, viennent. Okay, and this is by itself, it'd be I come, you come, he comes, she comes, etc. But in this format, it will mean just finished doing something. So just like we did for futur proche, let's look at some examples where we use le passé récent, the recent past. So, je, there you go, the verb venir, conjugated in the present tense, followed by the preposition de, right? Je viens de manger. Manger means to eat. So in this case, it means I just finished eating. Okay, je viens de manger. Tu viens d'étudier. Étudier, to study, we saw that. So you just finished studying for a test, for whatever. Il, elle, on vient de regarder la télé. We just finished watching TV. We were watching a movie, a series, whatever it may be. So we just finished watching TV. On vient de regarder, elle vient de regarder, il vient de regarder la télé. Nous venons de voyager. We just got back from a trip. So we just finished traveling. We just got back from a trip. Vous venez de chanter une chanson. You just finished, chanter means to sing, a song, right? So you just finished singing a song. And il ou elle, they plural, viennent, de faire du shopping. So they just finished shopping. They just got back from the mall, for example, okay? And these are the simple ways of expressing an idea in the recent past or in the near future. Extremely easy. Near future, again, we use aller in the present tense plus the main verb in the infinitive. We don't touch it. If it's passé récent, we use venir also in the present tense, followed by the preposition de, followed by the main verb in the infinitive. I'll have some exercises for you. I'll be posting them up soon for you to practice this idea. Keep checking. More videos will come your way and more exercises as well. À la prochaine.